If you are nervous about getting yourself on social media, you hate the idea of putting yourself out there, this episode is for you. I spotted this lady on TikTok and I thought, wow, she is so authentic. I have got to reach out to her and bring her on as a guest. Turns out her story is unbelievable. And since the time we first met, she actually has had wild growth. Wait till the end. You're going to find out everybody who has reposted her posts in the last 4 weeks. It is mind blowing. This is what is possible for you. She's going to share her full story of how she hid through many different careers. She played small and how today she has found success on not just one platform, but many platforms and is now going to be able to do what she really wants to do with her business. All right, let's get started. I am so excited today because I have a brand new friend. We just literally are getting to know each other. This is Candace Barnes, and let me give you the backstory. If you are a coach or somebody who is looking to start a coaching business and you have this fear around visibility, this is exactly why I brought Candace on. We literally just barely met inside of a new coaching program that we're both part of. And the first day that I met her, less than a month ago, I looked her up on social media while we were in this group call and I saw her. You guys, I'm going to leave all the links for you guys. I saw her on TikTok and immediately I was thinking, Candace doesn't know me and I don't know her, but she's coming on YouTube with me to talk about what she's doing. So if you're a woman who is scared about putting yourself out there, if you're thinking like, I just need to do this thing, that is exactly what I saw you doing, Candace. That's why I brought you here. So introduce yourself.
Sure. Thank you so much, Debbie. And thank you so much for having me. It's so funny how God, the universe, or however anybody chooses to call a higher power works. And how sometimes, as you said, you see people, you meet people, and it's instant. And I felt the same connection with you as well. And so when you asked me to be on the show, I'm like, okay, let's do it. And that's kind of what's been happening a lot for me lately. And as you were talking about the people who are interested in what you are up to, I am that person. I was that person. Now, I will say that I have had a progression to getting where I am. When I was in my 20s, I was terrified to be seen in public, but I was still running everything. I was the president of all the clubs. I was in theater, but I was the stage manager and production manager and leading everything, like cracking the whip. But you could not get me on stage. I was terrified. God's got jokes. In 1987, I was doing temp work, and for this audience, you'll understand what a Girl Friday was. Well, I was one of
Mhm.
those. I got sent to Gallaudet University, which is the world's only liberal arts university for deaf and hard of hearing people. I was sent to the office where they hired interpreters. And I had seen interpreters because of my theater background, but I never thought of it as something that I could do for a career. This was a part-time temporary job. By the end of probably the second or third week, they offered me the permanent job, which I ultimately got. Within a month or two, I figured out, this interpreting thing, I can do that because I've always been a wordsmith. And so went off to interpreting school, which you didn't have to back then because it wasn't a thing. But as a Black woman, I knew the more credentials I had, it didn't mean it was going to be easier, but it would be a few boxes that I could check. And so I went to interpreting school for 2 years in Rochester, New York, graduated, came back, worked full time, and worked as an interpreter for nearly 40 years. Now, the whole time I was an interpreter, it was supposed to be an addition to, not the thing, but it kind of took over my life. I was really good at it. I'm very well known at it. And going back to the first piece, God having jokes, I didn't want to be in front of people. So now I get to be in front of people, but it's not really me. Through that, I got to realize, oh, well, no, maybe I do want to do that. And so over time, little by little, I went through a coach training program. I got ordained. I did some preaching. I did all the things. And I realized that I really did like to speak. Somewhere along in there, probably 10 years ago or more, I found out about a live challenge or a video challenge. And she had a 30-day challenge. And during the course of the challenge, she would teach people how to do their lighting, their positions, using their cameras, all the things. And so I did a number of live challenges. So I got comfortable being on camera. So now, fast forward to the past 6 months or so. I've been studying entrepreneurship formally for about 16 years. And last summer, I was in a challenge, and the coach at the time, I got back in her community. She was promoting TikTok. I was like, TikTok? I can't even imagine, because for women of our age, seasoned women, I thought it was just a bunch of kids doing viral dances to trending songs, right? TikTok is so much more than that. I mean, it's becoming a search engine. Whenever I travel anywhere, I go there to find out where to go out to eat. If you're looking for somebody in a particular specialty, they're probably on TikTok. We're at a point in history that's never existed before. We have these social media platforms to be able to get the word out about our expertise for free.
Yes,
You don't
girl,
have
I'm preaching that all the time. Like, this
for
is
free.
free. This is
It's
free. Yes.
free. YouTube, Instagram,
Yeah.
TikTok,
Substack, all of them.
Substack, all the
Yeah.
things. Free advertisement. And you just have to get good at being able to do it in a way and position yourself in a way that people stop the scroll,
Yeah.
essentially, because everybody is like, they're ready to pass you up. And if you are able to capture their attention, you can bring in all kinds of business, and you don't have to have a huge following to make a lot of money. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. So my coach challenged me. She said, I need you to make a TikTok in 24 hours. Okay. So that was November 29th or 28th when she and I talked. All day long and into the evening, I finally made my first TikTok. It's still on my page. You can go back there and look. And it was pretty bad given TikTok. And when I first started, I didn't even know what I was going to talk about. I had no idea. I was like, hey, I'm Candace. I'm 64. I'm brand new to TikTok. I'm trying to figure this thing out. And here I am. And I'll be back and we'll keep figuring it out together. November 29th. December 22nd, I found a program that teaches people how to become successful using what we call short form content. TikTok, Instagram, it works everywhere. It's the same thing. Instagram, they're called Reels. On TikTok, they're called TikToks. Facebook, I think they're called Reels now too. But basically, they are little videos anywhere from 15 seconds to 2 or 3 minutes, give or take, and you are using that time to make a difference for people. And so I joined the program December 22nd, December 25th, Christmas Day. I made a video that went viral.
Okay, wait, time out. What does viral mean? So, for those listening that don't know, like, what's the measurement of I went viral?
So in that case, I filmed this little video. I was at some friend's house having dinner for Christmas Day. And sometimes people tell you dinner's going to be at 2 and it's really at 5 or 6. This was that case. And I hadn't made a video that day. And I had committed at that point to go online and make something every day. And so I was like, let me go make a video. So I went out on the porch, filmed this little video, posted it, and walked away, didn't think about it. 4 hours later, I looked at my phone and there were like 5,000 views. What? And so I knew that it was going to explode. That video now has over 1 million views. So viral is anywhere from several hundred thousand. It usually is in 100,000 and up, 500,000, 1 million. And then I now have videos that have over 16 million views,
Oh
multiple.
my word. Do you see why I brought Candace on now? That's why I had to have you on. I didn't even know this stuff. I just
Yeah.
saw this cute little Candace talking about some things that seemed very relatable. At the time that you did that on Christmas Day, how many followers did you have then?
Less than 200.
Less than 200. Okay.
Less than 200. And here's the secret about TikTok that some people know, some people don't. The reason why TikTok is the place to be is because when you make content, the first people they show it to are perfect strangers. So it's brand new eyeballs who have never laid eyes on you and have no feeling or attachment or judgment or whatever, either way. And based on how they react, if they watch it, if they share it, if they like it and comment and so forth, TikTok will then push it out to a bigger audience and a bigger audience and a bigger audience until ultimately you end up with this loveliness that I have now of multiple videos with 16 plus million views. But on TikTok, it really does start with literal strangers who don't know you from a can of paint. So you get your stuff in front of brand new eyeballs. So for all of you all who are wanting, who say you have no traffic and no leads, TikTok is the place to go and get good at because that's where you can get your folks.
Okay, I have another question. Since you seem to be the go-to expert on TikTok now, since
Okay.
you've had this success that I really want to talk specific numbers to,
Yes.
since I met you, the reason why I started experimenting on TikTok and I'm new over there, maybe
Hmm.
60 days over there, is because I had this sense that our generation, whatever that is, 50 and above, and
Yep.
it's honestly, there's so many people that I would say are more like 60 and above. I
Yep.
think that's even bigger group. It feels to me like there's some social media situations opening, and one would
Hmm.
be YouTube, one would be TikTok, and now, of course, Substack, that those are real opportunities where now our demographic is going. And I think as a content producer or somebody building a business or a brand, it felt like I had opportunity. And I was like, I think I need to go over there and Substack, which is how we met on Substack.
Yes.
I need to
Yes.
go in those places and see what that's all about.
Sure.
Is that the way you feel about TikTok and the demographic?
100%. And so there is the very much younger crowd, 18, 20, 24,
Yeah.
30, 35, 40, 50. And then there is a growing group of people who are 50 and 60 and 70 and 80 who are having massive success. I just stumbled on a video last night of a woman who is also 60. So I'm 65. I said I was 64 when I started. I turned 65. That was another thing. I was like, who is doing anything on TikTok at 65? But my coach said do it. And I figure if I hired a coach, I need to like at least try
Hmm.
what they say to do.
Yeah.
This woman is 62 and has generated over $9 million selling things in the TikTok shop. So she's one that actually sells things through the TikTok shop and has generated a crazy amount of revenue. And she's just as ordinary and got a good old Southern accent and, has a very interesting background, which she's very public about. I hadn't seen her before, but she showed up on my feed, and there are even hashtags that people use over there, women over 40, women over 60. So there's a growing group, and I'm finding that the younger folks are looking to us because we have life experience that they want. And one of my missions is to find ways to support people, be they our age or younger, from spending time doing something that they know isn't their passion because they have golden handcuffs, they're good at it, and they get stuck in it, but they really want to be over here doing something else. Now is the time to be able to do that, A. B, we all need to be figuring out how to create our own economy because who knows what's happening in the world and with AI.
I literally say that too. I'm telling you what, Candace, you and I are two peas in a pod. I say the same thing. Create your own
Yeah.
economy. We need
Yeah,
to.
and on TikTok actually pays. This other thing that we don't know, our generation, they know it. The younger ones know it. As a matter of fact, how I found this woman, she was talking to somebody who she told her story. The 20-year-old had just made $100 on TikTok. And so the woman she was talking to, she said, "Well, you wouldn't understand. You're too old." That woman literally that night went home and stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning to figure out how to get on TikTok and has since, I think that month made multiple thousands of dollars and has since made all kinds of crazy money. And TikTok pays. There's about 8 or 9 different ways that you can get paid for creating content on TikTok, including getting views on your videos, not to mention creating digital products, creating your coaching businesses, writing books, all the things. And all of the social media channels do pay once you figure out the game. I kind of knew that. I didn't know I was going to get to experience it. And I certainly didn't know that I would get to experience it in 4 weeks. 4 weeks.
Okay, so let's fast forward to the
Yeah,
day that I met you, which was less than a month ago. You
give
had
or
how
take.
many followers? total? Because I would not have invited you if you were Miss Popular that you are now. So you had how many followers?
Well, I'm glad that you didn't know. I hit 10,000 followers on TikTok on April 27th. And the reason I know that is because it was 2 days before my 65th birthday. And I really wanted to get to 10,000 for my 65th birthday. And 10,000 is a milestone on TikTok because
Yeah.
when you get there, you get to start earning money for people watching your stuff, among other things.
Oh, wow. So you were already monetized before this happened. Oh my
Well,
gosh.
oh yeah. So I started getting monetized. April 27th was when I officially became eligible for being monetized. And for the Creator Rewards Program, which is where they pay you for views, I was eligible for 3 days in the month of April. And I got a check. But of course, I have these videos that are going mega viral. I'm also monetized on Facebook. I'm working out being monetized on Instagram, which I really need to handle because since we met, so at that point, April 27th, I hit 10,000 on TikTok. I may have had 50,000 on Instagram, maybe. I don't even know. It wasn't that many, but I had some videos that were really blowing up on Instagram. So fast forward, when did I hit? So I hit 200,000 on Instagram on May the 6th.
In a week, you went from, let's say, around 50,000 on Instagram, which by the way, that's big following anyway,
Nothing to shake a stick at
but from
all, right?
50 to
Right. It blew up.
200,000
It
in a week.
literally blew up. Right. The program that I mentioned is where I learned how to do what I'm doing now. And I joined that program in December. I was following the curriculum, but I kind of was and I kind of wasn't. You know how we all
Yeah.
do our own thing. And so I was doing part of what they were teaching, and it was good. And I was getting some views, but I really wasn't as successful as I could be. April 19th, one of the coaches in the program and I had a conversation. We got on the phone and she's like, "What are you doing? You're really good. How come you aren't growing?" And she said, "I need you to do this." And you all already know that I'm one that follows what my coaches tell me to do. That was a Sunday, April 19th. Monday, April 20th, which was 4 weeks ago yesterday, I said, "Okay, I'm going to do what she told me to do." I filmed a video using the system that we have, and that video hit 100,000 views within a couple of days. Okay, what just happened? All right, this works. Let me do it. So since then, I have been all in and following exactly what we teach. And at this point, as I said, I have a couple of videos with over 16 million views. I have at this point 27 or 28 videos with more than 1 million views across the different platforms. They're all the same videos on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, but some things hit on Instagram quicker than they do on Facebook, on TikTok, and vice versa. And who knows? Now, what I will say in addition to all of this, the beginning of March, someone who I deeply admired and respected looked at me in front of a room full of people and told me that it wasn't believable that I could be successful on TikTok and certainly that I could teach anybody. Whoa, it knocked the wind out of my sails. So much so, as a trauma survivor, it really had so much of an effect on me that I disassociated and completely blacked out that comment. And I spent the next 6 weeks from the beginning of March until the middle of April, right before this moment happened. And I was just checked out. I was watching a lot of TV. I don't own a television, so I was watching TV on my phone and playing games, sleeping a lot, not eating, not doing much of anything. And fortunately, we have a mindset coach in the program. And I was on one of the mindset calls, and something on the mindset call cracked me open enough that I could remember the comment because I had completely forgotten it. I mean, literally, I had no memory of
Wow.
it at all. And I remembered it that night. I immediately went online, posted a video, and said, "I don't know who this is for, but at the end of the day, the only opinion that really matters is you and God." And somebody told me I couldn't do this, and I cried a little bit, and that was just me getting back in here. And that was on Tuesday, April the 14th. Had the conversation Sunday the 19th, Monday the 20th. I made that video that went to 100,000 views. By the end of that week, I had probably a couple of videos with 1 million views. And since then, it has been utterly crazy. Katy Perry has posted me to her stories. Paris Hilton, Paris Jackson, Sean T from Beachbody have all, in one way or another, put my stuff out there. And it's just been crazy. What happened was I said yes, and I was willing to be coachable, follow directions, lean into the system, and keep going. That is one thing that I've done consistently. Even when TikTok was going through a little dip at the beginning of the year, everybody's like, I'm leaving TikTok because it's going to shut
Yeah,
down. It's like, look, y'all, they spent $18 billion to buy TikTok. TikTok ain't going nowhere. It might go through some little rough patches, but it's
yeah.
going to be fine. So that whole time, I posted 2 or 3 times a day. And a lot of people I know were not posting and freaking out. So I am that person. That's part of my makeup is that I just keep going. And that's what happened with this. And now I have videos at this point that are going to 1 million views in a day in less than 24 hours because the audience has grown that much and it's resonating for people. And beyond the views, let me be clear. It's not just about the views. It's not just
Yeah.
about the followers. For me, it's about, am I making a difference?
You
Am
are,
is
Candace. You
somebody
are.
breathing easier? Is somebody having a
Yeah.
better day?
Mhm.
And through this, I've been able to use a system that I call from reaction to response.
I saw that product that you have a
Yeah.
product available from
I
reaction to
do. Yeah,
response.
and it's a short 11-minute audio, guided audio that walks you through a practice of recentering and coming off of being ready to take somebody out to getting back to your center. And it's like I said, it's 11 minutes and it even includes a little recap that you can use in under a minute. And it's what I use. It helps me to remember how to get from reacting to response. And it's easy and simple. And if you like my voice, it's an audio product. So
Well, Candace, when I saw you, whatever day it was, a month ago, and you had this, I'll call it kind of a small following, we were in the same coaching call and I was looking up Candace and I'm like, she doesn't even have a link in her bio.
I
Like she has
didn't.
nothing for sale. I could not figure out, is she a coach? What is she? But I knew that the words of wisdom that you were sharing, it really resonated with me. It didn't feel like you were just being loving and you had these things that you were saying that were just little phrases that felt so sincere. Like, I think you were saying, my beloved. And just like it was so authentic and so real. But yeah, you didn't even have anything for sale. And
Right. I
in,
didn't.
in 1 month's time, that's why I looked again today. I was like, I wonder what she is doing before we get on this call and first get to know each other. What does she have? And that's why I saw you had the $33 offer and you have a 1 hour coaching call. So, what is the coaching that you want to do, or what is it that you do? What's the goal here?
Great question. So, no, I didn't, because again, when I started all of this, I was still figuring out who I am, and I still am. I
Yeah,
am not a sage on the stage at all. I am on the journey, sometimes alongside of you, and more often than not, a few steps ahead, mostly by virtue of the fact that I've been blessed to have 65 years on the earth,
yeah.
and also quite a lot of training and credentialing. And it's all come together. Ultimately, again, want to do is ideally, most likely, create a community
Mhm.
for people who know that there's more. My catchphrase is essentially love your life now. Don't get obsessed with the rearview mirror or the future.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
that's what it boils down to is really just getting clear about where we're going. I want to find it because it's actually pretty lovely. Love your life now, not someday or in the rearview mirror. Because we
Yeah.
spend so much time obsessing about, I'm going to retire someday, or when my grandkids come someday, or whatever, someday, and or we're obsessing about what happened somewhere in the past in the rearview mirror, and we're not present in the moment. So I want to create a community of us where we're intentional about being present in the moment and loving our lives now, whatever that looks like. Sometimes that will look like taking a 1 minute dance break in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'll look like changing careers entirely. Sometimes it will look like giving yourself permission to know that this job has served you and that you don't want to do it anymore, or the
Yeah.
marriage, or the whatever. And now creating the pathway to make that transition. So that's ultimately the long game. And why I didn't have anything up was because of my own hurdle and growth opportunity around being willing to make a product and make myself available for what people were asking me for. I mean, people, if you look at the comments are amazing
Oh my gosh, they are. And they're all ages. And I
and
mean,
all over the world.
yes, since the first moment I saw you, I thought you were just a small creator
I
who was
was.
inspiring me. You were showing up and just the candidness of you sitting in your car and talking about something that while it might have been thought through and maybe it was scripted, it felt very like you were talking to me. I just wanted to show the women in my world this is possible for you. And
Yes. The more authentic and real
yep,
you are, the more likely people are going to connect with you and who are going to want to listen to you because we want to know who's real. And the other thing that happens in the comments a lot is this AI because of this voice that I have? So it kind of looks like AI.
I disagree. After you mentioned that on our group coaching call together, I went back and looked at your videos and I was like, what is she talking about? And I
Right.
was like, how could they even think that
I
that is
think
a,
because we're just so skeptical and so
yeah,
burnt, and there is so much AI out
yeah,
there. There really is, and it is hard to know. But if anybody goes beyond whatever 15 to 2 minute video of mine, if they go off of that and look at my page, there's like I have on different clothes, I'm in different places, I'm in
yes,
my car,
yes,
it's like all the things.
yeah,
So you would know that this is really not AI. Most of the time with AI, it's the same person in the same place and often even in the same clothes and everything.
yeah,
Fortunately, the community is handling it. I don't even have to address it anymore. Every now
yeah,
and then, I can tell that somebody is really needing to know. And so I'll comment and say something. But most of the time, people are like, no, no, bro, go look at her page. She ain't
yeah.
AI, I promise you. Yeah.
Well, Candace, we have to wrap this up because I know you're a busy girl too. And I just am so grateful to have gotten in the same circle with you and inspired me.
Thank
So I
you.
just know that you have benefited everybody today, especially when they go look. Whatever platform you go to, school or Facebook or wherever you have your community, I want to be able to share it as well so everybody can get connected with you. I just want to say thank you for being an inspiration. You guys, as of today, as of the recording, she has 1 hour time spots available on her calendar. Now, I don't know if that will last. And she has this $33, what is it again?
It's called From Reaction to Response.
Okay, reaction to response. So
Yep.
she's got a couple of things that you can look at now, but I am telling you what, this has been less than 4 weeks that all this, she became like one of those people we've heard about.
Yes. And
And
it's not, and you know, people say overnight success. Nobody is an overnight success. Anybody who we see as an overnight success has typically spent decades, if not
yeah,
a
right.
lifetime. And in my case, that's the case. I'm 65. Everything that I have done to this point is contributing to me being this overnight success. And my desire and dream is to help other people to be able to have their overnight success moments, whatever that looks like. It may not look like 100 million views and 600,000 followers, because certainly I didn't think it was going to look like that for me. But it may look like, you know, you have your client roster is full
Yeah.
or you're figuring out that you can do something that makes you happy. I really appreciate you giving me the space and for us having time to just connect. And in the show notes, we'll put all of my bio links and
Yep.
all the things. My
Yep.
name is spelled a little odd, so make sure you look for the right spelling. But as Debbie has said, I am everywhere.
I am so excited. So, Candace, thank you so much for being a blessing to me, to all these women that now are inspired. I can say anything's possible and you should grow your business and all the things that I say, but that's why I had to bring you here because you're out there doing it.
I've
So,
embodied it. And,
again,
I'm excited that I have done the work that I needed to do to be able to step into this. And I just invite you, as you're looking, to know that wherever you are now, as scared as you might be, it really is possible for you to have the life of your dreams now, not someday, and not in the review mirror.
yes. All right, my dear, have a beautiful afternoon,
You
evening. And
too.
for the rest of you out there, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything and have a beautiful
Awesome.
day. Thank
Sounds
you.
good. You too. Take care.